Usually, when we think of archaeology, we're thinking of something very old and ancient. Well, it's very true, but it's not always just broken bones or rusty coins that they find. Every single day, archaeologists make a lot of discoveries that reveal how our ancient ancestors lived, what they believed in, and how they managed to build things that defy our modern understanding. And in this video, we'll show you exactly that: the top 15 most incredible archaeological finds. So, let's dive in. Number 15. Rujm El Hiri. This ancient site goes by many names, like Rujm El Hiri in Arabic, Gilgal Rephaim in Hebrew, and is sometimes called the Golan Stonehenge. But no matter what you call it, one thing is certain: this is one of the most puzzling ancient structures ever found in the Middle East. Rujm El Hiri is a massive megalithic monument that dates back nearly 5,000 years and is situated in the Golan Heights region of the Levant. The Stonehenge comparisons are easy to see, but unlike its British counterpart, Rujm El Hiri isn't built from towering slabs. Instead, it's formed from smaller stacks of basalt rocks weighing a combined 40,000 tons. These stones form 5 concentric circles, the largest spanning over 500 feet across. At the center stands a 15-foot-high cairn, once a tomb, long ago looted by grave robbers. The site was first surveyed in the late 1960s. Since then, archaeologists have studied it pretty extensively, but answers have been few and far between. We don't know who created it or for what purpose. It is unlikely we will find out anytime soon. Number 14. Seringa Pyramid Tombs. Since ancient burials are pretty common in the hot Sudanese desert, archaeologists weren't expecting much until they found 35 burial chambers with a surprising architectural twist. Each tomb was shaped like a miniature pyramid. While they lack the scale of Great Giza, their design is remarkably similar. These tombs were excavated back in 2009 and 2012 in Seringa, once part of the ancient kingdom of Kush, which bordered both Egypt and the Roman Empire. The layout suggests Egypt may have exerted far more cultural influence over Kush than previously assumed. Sadly, every tomb had been looted long before archaeologists arrived, leaving major gaps in understanding. Most fascinating of all is a rare variation in pyramid design. Several feature cross-braced layouts, where each corner links to a central ring, which is a style not documented anywhere else but Seringa. That single architectural quirk might represent a local building tradition, now barely preserved through scattered remnants and buried ruins. Number 13. Nairo Rock Paintings. Africa is abundant in ancient rock art, as it should be. It's the birthplace of human civilization. But among its many sites, few rival the Nairo rock paintings of Kumi. Made up of 6 rock shelters filled with symbolic markings, the site dates back roughly 12,000 years. These murals are a source of deep national pride. In fact, one of the recurring solar symbols was selected to feature on Uganda's 1,000 shilling banknote. Most of the figures are dual-toned, black pigment accented with vibrant red, though the red has faded over time. We don't know precisely who created the artwork, but some researchers credit the Karamojong, one of the earliest pastoralist cultures in the area. They were ahead of their time, having domesticated animals during an era when hunting and gathering still dominated. But the question lingers: why would a nomadic people pause long enough to produce such intricate artwork? That mystery remains an enigma. Number 12. Badrul Chow Monoliths. The Badrul Chow monoliths overlook the hillsides of Bab el Daub, which is the largest island in the Pacific nation of Palau. If you make it there, they're impossible to miss because it is the island's most expansive archaeological site. The stones sit on the northern slopes and consist of 52 basalt pillars arranged in 2 orderly rows. Some display crudely carved human faces. Radiocarbon analysis suggests the site was established around the year 161 CE, but its function remains a complete mystery. One theory is that these monoliths acted as columns supporting a bi, a traditional communal meeting house. If true, it would have been the largest structure of its kind ever built in Palau. However, the carved faces aren't typical features of a bi, leading some to assume they were added later for reasons long forgotten. Others believe they're fragments of a now-lost cultural tradition, or perhaps ancient graffiti. Whatever the truth, the monoliths remain a towering, solemn testament to a long-vanished chapter of island history. Number 11. Pyramid of Hermel in Lebanon. Kamu el Hermel, also known as the Pyramid of Hermel, stands boldly atop a hill in Lebanon's Baalbek Hermel Governorate. This ancient structure is visible from miles away, and it rises between 64 and 88 feet, built on a stepped basalt foundation using colossal limestone blocks. A restoration completed here back in 1931 uncovered stone reliefs on its sides featuring deer, wolves attacking a bull, and a hunting scene. Though the pyramid's true origin is debated, most scholars date it to the 1st century BCE. Some theorize it was a monument honoring royal Syrian hunting prowess, while others propose Greek or Assyrian roots. Nearby digs show that a Neolithic shepherd community once lived on the hill. Flint tools, like scrapers, borers, and cores, have also been discovered around the site. Despite weathering and vandalism, the pyramid retains cultural importance. Its exact function is completely uncertain, but its presence in the Lebanese landscape remains just as commanding today as it was 2,000 years ago. Number 10. Sutton Hoo Helmet. The Sutton Hoo helmet is one of the most iconic archaeological finds in British history. If you were raised in the UK, chances are you saw it illustrated in history books during school. This helmet is described by experts as the most significant Anglo-Saxon artifact ever discovered. It was found in 1939 inside the burial chamber of a noble warrior, complete with his full-length ship and weaponry. His actual identity is still a puzzle, though many believe the tomb belonged to King Redwald of East Anglia. That theory, however, remains completely unverified. Before this discovery, historians viewed early Anglo-Saxon England as primitive and fragmented. But the intricate craftsmanship of this unique helmet and the sheer wealth buried with it forced a complete re-evaluation. This single grave shifted the entire understanding of the so-called Dark Ages, revealing a culture far more complex, smarter, and refined than previously believed. Number 9. The Roman Balneum in Rafina. Historical records tell us a lot about life in major Roman cities, but daily life in smaller towns is often overlooked. That's why the excavation of a Roman bath complex in Rafina is so important. Nearby, archaeologists found an olive press basin engraved with a curious inscription. At first, the site was thought to be the ruin of a basilica, but it's now understood as a 2nd century agricultural and communal hub. Despite its rural location, the presence of public baths suggests even farming communities had access to certain comforts. The inscription confirms the baths weren't reserved for elites or soldiers. They were open to the general public. It's likely that after long days pressing olives or laboring in the fields, locals came here to relax. This bathhouse proves that luxury wasn't confined to imperial cities. It also shows that access to hygiene and rest was more common than previously believed, even far from the heart of Roman influence. Number 8. Ancient Kiskapan Tomb. The Kiskapan tomb at Dan, which is located in Iraq, is undeniably old, carved from stone, and unmistakably a burial chamber. Scholars fully agree on those points. The ongoing dispute revolves around whether this was truly the tomb of a powerful Median king. Whoever was laid to rest here clearly carried enormous importance. That's evident from the Hellenistic carvings inside the chamber, along with its stately columns and Zoroastrian designs engraved into its surfaces. Folklore claims it's the final resting place of Cyaxares, the last great ruler of the Median Empire. The monarch who shattered Assyrian control and began the Median era before eventually yielding to the Persians. But that's still up for debate. Centuries of looting have robbed the tomb of identifying artifacts. The only potential clue is a sacred carving above the main doorway, showing a noble figure beside a fire altar, hand raised in worship. It's highly probable a king was buried here, but we may never know his name. That's the truth. Number 7. Statue of Ebie. This statue dates back 4,400 years. It depicts the superintendent of the ancient city-state of Mari in present-day Syria. Found by French archaeologist André Parrot in 1934, the statue was discovered in 2 parts. The head resting in the outer courtyard of the Temple of Ishtar and the body directly beneath it, below a smaller statue of King Lamgi Mari. Sculpted from gypsum and inlaid with lapis lazuli, shell, and schist, it shows Ebie in a seated pose of worship. Despite the damage, no restoration altered its original materials. The craftsmanship is exceptional. The detailed beard, precisely rendered hands, and natural posture all showcase remarkable artistic skill. The expressive face brings a level of realism rare in sculptures from this era. The statue is considered one of the finest surviving examples of Mesopotamian art. It now resides in the Louvre Museum, where it stands as a symbol of both spiritual devotion and masterful artistry. Number 6. Visby lenses. Whether Vikings knowingly built magnifying lenses is unclear, but they unquestionably made them. Their origin, even now, remains debated, especially regarding their function and whether their optical precision was intentional. Found only on Sweden's Gotland Island, their limited distribution suggests the method was isolated to a tiny region. Evidence leans toward deliberate manufacture. The lenses show almost no spherical distortion, and their magnification remains consistent from one to the next. Unlikely to have been used for reading, the Vikings weren't known for literacy. They may have been used to concentrate sunlight for fire starting. All known examples date to the 11th and 12th centuries, and their creation appears tied to a single craftsman whose skill wasn't passed on. When that individual died, the knowledge likely died with them. These lenses still stand out for their accuracy and craftsmanship, representing a technological sophistication far beyond what most expect Vikings were capable of achieving. Number 5. Kejimkujik petroglyphs. In Nova Scotia, the Kejimkujik National Historic Site holds a rare fusion of environmental and cultural preservation. Home to the Mi'kmaq people, it protects ancient trails and over 500 petroglyphs carved into stone surfaces. These engravings, depicting humans, animals, canoes, and spiritual entities, can only be seen through guided tours. The site stays closed when interpreters aren't present, preventing damage and maintaining respect. Seasonal water levels and coastal erosion sometimes submerge the carvings, which restricts access. Weathering has faded some images, but many remain discernible. Preservationists believe the petroglyphs may disappear within 40 years. Still, restoration is purposely avoided to honor Mi'kmaq spiritual beliefs, specifically the notion that even stone holds a soul and should complete its life cycle. Rather than artificially preserve what remains, the community has chosen to let the carvings fade naturally, turning erosion into a final sacred gesture and letting history dissolve quietly, with dignity. Number 4. The Lagash Border Pillar. Border disputes are nothing new. The oldest documented example comes from a 4,500-year-old stone pillar now housed in the British Museum. This artifact doesn't just record a land conflict, it includes the earliest known use of the phrase "no man's land." Its inscriptions are written in Sumerian cuneiform and remained untranslated until Irving Finkel, a museum curator, decoded them in 2018. His translation identified the pillar as a boundary marker dividing land between the rival city-states of Umma and Lagash, both in modern-day Iraq. The contested region, a fertile area called Gu Edin, was claimed by both. The text declares that the land was granted to Enmetena, king of Lagash, over 3,400 years ago. Interestingly, the scribe ridiculed Umma by using elegant script for Lagash's name and rendering Umma in awkward, childish lettering. Today, we'd call that trolling, but it proves ancient scribes already knew how to get a subtle dig in. Number 3. Tomb of the Scipio family. The Tomb of the Scipios, aka the Tomb of the Scipio family, holds the remains of one of Rome's most influential and celebrated dynasties. It is located in central Rome, and this ancient tomb served as the burial place for generations of military leaders and Roman aristocrats. Its origins trace back to 298 BCE, when Lucius Cornelius Scipio Barbatus, one of Rome's consuls and a commander in the Second Punic War, commissioned it as his final resting place. Although his writings are lost, fragments, coins, and stone inscriptions commemorate his legacy. Over time, the tomb evolved into a family mausoleum, containing multiple Scipio descendants. This site was rediscovered in 1780 and has undergone alterations, and the current entrance differs from the original layout. Artifacts and sarcophagus pieces were removed and are now displayed in the Vatican museums. One of the most notable discoveries was the sculpted head of Ennius, a 3rd century BCE piece, reflecting a fusion of Etruscan and early Greek styles in Roman funerary art. Number 2. The Bullring Henge. The Bullring Henge in Derbyshire is one of the most fascinating creations left by our ancient ancestors. It is a Neolithic henge monument believed to be over 4,000 years old. The site features a circular earthwork about 200 feet across, enclosing a central ring of stones. Initially, it held around 30 huge limestone slabs, though only a few remain upright today. Each one weighs several tons, adding to the site's lasting intrigue. Though its purpose isn't fully known, scholars suspect the bull ring served ceremonial or spiritual roles, like many other henges found across Britain and Europe. The sheer scale reflects the engineering knowledge and social structure of prehistoric communities in the region. Despite natural erosion and occasional human disturbance, the site still attracts archaeologists and curious visitors. Exploring the area offers a direct connection to ancient belief systems and community rituals embedded in the land long before recorded history. Its age and size make it one of Britain's most cryptic, sacred spaces. Number 1. Long Man of Wilmington. Most people have seen the iconic British hillside horse figure, but few know about the Long Man of Wilmington. This massive geoglyph is etched into a slope in Wilmington and is revered by modern-day neo-pagans who gather here annually for ceremonies. Still, there's no actual, solid evidence that connects ancient pagans to its creation. The figure stretches 235 feet in length and holds what are believed to be staffs. Unlike the Westbury White Horse, it isn't truly ancient. Scientific dating places the figure in the 16th or 17th century, recent enough that records should exist, yet none have been found. Before this, many assumed it dated back to the Bronze or Iron Age. Since its origins don't fit into pagan tradition, modern practitioners simply reject the scientific conclusion. Each year on May Day, the Longman Morris men perform their traditional dance at the base, keeping a new ritual alive even as the original one remains unknown. Well, that's it for today. If you found this video interesting, like and subscribe. We'll catch you later.